Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and posted on the bulletin boards of the Township Hall.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad.
Here.
Councilmember Curry.
Here.
Councilmember Simonson.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Clark.
Here.
Mayor Beck.
Here. It's real loud for some reason. Do you wanted them loud?
This is the video.
They might hear me snoring up here. We start out with Jim, the summer promotion video.
Back in the springtime, we had discussed doing some promotions based on activities that we had in the summertime, and I just received 3 of the short videos that the Coast radio station's crew put together, and I want to show them now. We still have another one that will depict all our waterfront restaurants in the township, which we'll be looking at in the next month also. But anyhow, the microphone is up because you can't hear the laptop from there.
Fire away.
Eileen? Well, Eric can turn the lights.
Mike Beck of Lower Township. We're a township with 23,000 full-time residents. Our township motto is a place to remember. Our primary focus in the summertime is to make sure that when the visitors come down here, they enjoy themselves, and when they leave, they have a real good remembrance of Lower Township. One of the projects that we've worked on over the past few years has to do with the concert series that we are now looking at behind me at the ferry. It began a few years back in Lower Township, the Recreation Department, in partnership with the Delaware River Bay Authority. We began a series of weekly concerts which have become a huge success. It draws people from all over the Cape May area that are on vacation, and it gives them a chance not only to come and hear music for free, I might add, but it also gives us a chance to showcase Lower Township.
Every year we're really excited about our summer concert series that we partner with the Delaware River and Bay Authority. We started at 1 concert. This year we have 6, and our plan is to expand every summer by 1 concert. We try to get the best entertainment for our residents and for our summer residents. This year we have the Soul Cruisers, which have been with us from the second year that we had. In the past we've had the B Street Band, Separate Ways, which we've had for a couple years now. I can't say enough about this venue. I think this venue is a perfect venue to have our summer concert series at. You get a nice cool weather. The residents seem to be receptive to this venue, and the bands that play here absolutely love coming here and playing at this venue.
Going back 4 years ago, we felt as if we had a venue here that if we could put on some live shows, this could really be a place that people would want to come to. It's certainly big enough, the views are sensational, and we took a risk in the beginning, and this now has grown to the point where I see a big concert situation moving forward where we're involved every single week. The DRBA has been great to work with. Our council has fully supported the concert series, and that's a great thing because both parties agree that it's something unique in Lower Township to be proud of. Besides these beaches that were a secret for a long time and these water views.
our bayfront, which is beautiful. We have a barge that goes out into the bay, and fireworks are discharged off that barge. The whole area along the bayfront is filled with people, tens of thousands, I would imagine. I don't know the exact figure, I don't think anyone does, but our town, this section of Lower Township fills up totally. Usually July 3rd is when we have them. We have a carnival up on the bayfront with vendors, food vendors, music, amusement rides for the children, and of course our beautiful bayfront here for everybody to enjoy. It is definitely the largest event that we have, and I think it's probably the best event that we could ever host here in Lower Township with the fireworks.
Thank you.
The nice thing of these videos is the fact that although we are partnered with Lower Cape May Regional High School, in the PEG channel, which is Channel 9, nor do they, this time of the year, have any content on that channel. So we have the capability of taking things like this, airing them, especially next spring when people are coming to the shore, and showing them what we have to offer, and we don't have to pay for that advertising on TV because we're a partner in it. But this was a start, and thank you, Council.
Thank you. Where's the volume on this thing? We're going to blow people's ears out if I... Grr. Okay. Well, testing. Can you hear me? Fine. All right, we move ahead to the best practices discussion. Is this Miss Laurie? Are you taking point on this one? If I'd known I was going to be on TV like that, I would have had a makeup guy there or something. You know what I mean? That's not fair. I'm better looking than that guy that was on there. Go ahead.
Hello. Is this okay? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
So everyone, I believe, has a copy of the best practices for 2016 in their packets. We are required to complete and remit that to the Division of Local Government Services. They use this to...
Can you hear her back there? Are you close? Maybe we're too low. I don't know. Can you move it up towards you a little bit? I see people like
I don't know.
straining.
Okay. Is this better?
No. Eric,
Still no?
did you turn that all the way down?
I didn't touch it.
Oh,
Yeah, blame him.
Can you hear me now?
How's it now, Lauren?
Is that better?
She Karen gave her hers, I guess.
How about this one? Is this
Try the other one.
Karen, how about giving her the other?
okay?
Try that. That one should be good.
Testing.
Yeah, that's, I think that one's working.
Okay. Okay. How's this better? A little better?
I think so.
Okay.
We're going with it.
All right. So the survey is used by the division to encourage municipalities to embrace practices that promote financial accountability, sound management, and transparency. They also use this to score each municipality to determine whether or not we're eligible to receive our full final payment of state aid, which is $70,985.70. We received a score of 87, so it looks like we are in fact eligible to receive the final full payment of state aid.
What was the base number you had to be above?
At least 22.
Well, we got an 87.
We have 30, well, it was 30 questions.
22 out of the 30 questions, so you had to be above
Correct.
22, 60. How many points each question? 3?
Each one, no.
3 and a third, I guess, if there's 30 questions. So that's,
So basically, we had
66
22
and
yeses,
7.
4
Yeah.
NAs, and then 4 nos. So we received a final score of 87. So looks like we're eligible, although it's not clear from the local finance notice. It just says that if we must receive a positive credit on a minimum of 22 questions. So I'm not sure if that's 22 yes answers or a 22 positive credit, like NA, if that counts towards it. But it
Yeah,
looks like
I'm-
either way, we're okay.
they used to, I was looking for it in the back. They used to give you a schematic that showed
Yeah, and it's
exactly the
not on there
numbers.
this
I
year.
guess you got to go online to get that. I didn't see it there.
Yeah, they're actually reserving the right to determine the withholding percentages until they've received everybody's questionnaires this year. So,
That way they could possibly adjust it then.
but we're in the clear, so.
I have one question for you, and it is something that's probably, I really don't want to go downtown with this thing, but on number 8, about the MUA, and the one caveat I have there says, more efficient than other potential alternatives in providing services. Is that number 9?
9.
9. Let me get my spectacles out. And we basically, without getting too deep into this, because we literally fought a war over this, I think to my satisfaction, it was pretty much proven that making the MUA a township department was the most efficient way to run that operation. And without having that done, I think that answering yes to that is an issue with me.
Well, this is mainly saying that have we discussed it? And it's been discussed. That's why the answer for this one.
Well, then would you, well, it says findings and conclusions should address whether their existing authorities are more efficient than other potential alternatives. So you're saying that basically we could say, well, yeah, this is not the most efficient way to do it, but we're going to do it anyway, and therefore we've complied with what they're asking.
Yeah, it says within the past year has the above referenced discussion appeared as a listed agenda item, which it is, on a scheduled governing body meeting, and do the findings and conclusion appear in a publicly available meeting minutes? So I think the discussion itself warrants.
The discussion, they're asking if we've discussed it,
Correct.
not necessarily that we've chosen that path.
That's how I'm interpreting it.
Okay.
And I would respectfully disagree with that anyway, so, again,
Well,
we've fought that fight already.
We did, but I reserve the right to vote the way I feel, as you reserve the right to vote the way you feel.
And I also agree with Councilman Simonson, disrespectfully, not going to go into the war again, but I have to look at the north end of the village getting water.
Then
now,
nobody's questioning
and-
their operation. What we're questioning is the efficiency.
And I believe it's highly efficient, and that's been my opinion. I know your opinions, we're not going to fight over this, I know. It's just,
Well, my
we each have
opinion-
different opinions on it.
My opinion was the state's opinion. It was the professional who observed or did the report's opinion.
And I questioned that back then.
I guess so. I understand that.
It was a positive.
I know that.
And I would like to also say here that I believe they're asking us, do we maintain a dialogue with the utility? And do they keep us informed of findings? And certainly that's been done in the past 3-4 months, because the job that they've done in providing water to the folks in the villas, and to the extent that they've gone to create financing situations, the fact that I believe, are almost at 500 and some homes, and the number of complaints that have happened. I mean, the operation for just that one project has been, to this date, pretty flawless.
Jim, suppose you could do it cheaper and save the ratepayers money. Would you choose that way?
I'd have to look, I'd have to look
I'm
at
just
it. I'd have
asking you,
to,
I'm asking you a question. If you found out that we could do it a cheaper way, the same service by making them a township department, would you be in favor of that?
I want to answer. I would say I would want to look at the entire picture of what took place over a period of time, because just because you might be able to save in one particular project, there's a lot of other things that happen here. I know the MUA has helped us out this year on multiple other projects. More importantly, our storm damage situation that we went through. Hadn't we been able to take those trees, branches, etc., and then working with us cooperatively, I could tell you, I think it would have cost the township an additional $50,000 to $100,000. So there's been a dialogue.
No doubt, and if they were a township department, they would have done the same thing.
But the problem is,
Okay.
the difference is the infrastructure they are now repairing and going through, that was never taken into consideration when those numbers came out, and I questioned them then. But the infrastructure they're trying to repair and expand, including the sewer systems that are old and the pumps, they are in the process of doing that. No one even looked at what they were going to be doing. They said they were going to do it, and no one believed it, but guess what? They're doing it. And they're doing it in the most cost-effective way, and if this township had taken over that, I do not believe any of that would have been happening now or in the next 3 to 5 years.
Oh, I believe there would be, but the bottom line is that as long as the administration remains in effect down there, as long as you're paying for those people at the top end of it and not folding it back in, and taking some of those duties over here and making them a department. I mean, when you talk about efficiency of operation, if they were a department here, we would have collaboration that would be far superior to anything you could possibly have by having a separate authority. But again, we're not here to refight this. I was just questioning the fact that that was on there, and that was basically my opinion about that. But if you're saying to me, the mere fact that we've discussed this without even voting to do X, Y, or Z, just the fact that we discussed it fulfills the mandate of the state, that's fine.
Well, since we're discussing it, Councilman Perry, do you want to say something about it?
I think it was, I totally disagree with the mayor. I've been in the township a long time. I see how things work and how departments work. I think the MUA has done an outstanding job. And the bottom line is, in 2014, the voters in Lower Township decided which direction they wanted to go in. And it's said, it's done, and we're moving forward, and the MUA is doing an outstanding job, in my opinion. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, well, since
Cheaper's not always better.
Since we're discussing it, I'll say my 2 cents, and we're not going to get into a war about it. We're just going to state our opinion. We're going to fulfill the mandate which we have, which is to discuss this, which is what we're going to do right now. So from the way I looked at it, you have the governor of the state, you have the lieutenant governor, you have the leader of the Democratic Party, Senator Sweeney, who absolutely has a summer house in our township, all saying it was a good idea. You had the State Finance Board saying it was a good idea. You had the accountant for the MUA saying we would save all this money. And in spite of all that, we didn't choose to do it. And it just proved what President Reagan once said, that the closest thing to eternal life that we have is a government agency, okay? Because it's really hard to kill. There's a lot of interest to keep it going. There's jobs, and there's all kinds of reasons that we can come up with to keep it going. I don't think the people, they didn't vote on the ballot whether to save $1 million or to kill the MUA. That's not what they, I wanted to make that the issue.
You
but
did
I don't
make it an issue.
I sure tried, but I don't think that most people in the people that were voting for you were saying, that's what I'm voting about. But the point is, if you were to ask people if they wanted to, look, the accountant and the governor, when both political parties and the accountant of the organization and the State Finance Board looking at it, all says it's a good idea.
When did the governor look at it and say that
people
was
can
a
say,
good
hey,
idea
would you
lower?
like to save some money? They'd surely say yes.
When did the governor look at it and say that was a good idea to take over Lower
He said,
Here's the problem.
he enabled
My
this.
tongue.
By
not
calling
start
these
a
things
war.
shadow governments, and they're bad because they perpetuate and they're not responsible as they should be.
This
But we're not
way
gonna-
is.
But I've just said my piece.
Okay.
You said your piece, we all said our piece.
Well, actually, I'm going to say my piece, and I give the people of Lower Township more credit than I ask the people to do your own research and look around the state of New Jersey and compare our MUA to those that have been departmentalized in other municipalities, and then you decide, you make your own decision. And I guarantee you that you will make the decision that our MUA is the finest run
I just hope as you
municipal
guys go forward.
utilities authority in the state. So, and
Mr. Clark?
that alone I'm still talking. That alone has saved us, will end up saving us millions of dollars if it hasn't already. I'm finished.
Norris, I beg to differ with you on the opinion of the people. I did go out and knock on doors, and I did talk to people, and the overwhelming majority of people I spoke to knocking on doors did not want the police station moved to the villas, and they did not want the MUA to be taken over by the township. Simple as that. And I vote the way my constituents want me to vote. They voted. We were elected.
Okay. All right, thank
And
you.
it's
We're done.
Okay.
Just, one of the things you said as you came in, and once we're gone, and it'll be, maybe you'll be leading the thing, you'll see opportunities to save some additional money. You talked about them, Councilman Perry. You know there's other opportunities to save money there. With the billing, for example, there's a big opportunity there. And you talked about looking at those. I just encourage you to look carefully at those and for the good of the people. And it'll be your idea and under your leadership and under your wisdom. And that's fine. Okay. The consent agenda, move down to that. Council have any questions or comments on that? Okay, open up for public comment on the consent agenda. This gentleman.
John Skoronsky, 607 Arctic Avenue. On 2016-285, authorization to cancel grant balances. The agenda wasn't on the website today, so I couldn't find out what that was about. So if somebody could tell me what that is.
Those grant balances,
They're balances that were not expended. And in order to clear them out, the grant balances. Yeah, it's just clearing out the grant balances that were not expended.
That's not money we're losing.
No, it's just money, yeah, it's just zeroing out the. It's a reimbursable thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else wish to address council? All right, close the public portion.
Approval of the minutes, October 3rd, 2016, and resolutions number 2016-284 through 2016-293.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2016-06. This is the salary and benefit ordinance for the Township of Lower. This is required annually. This is the second reading, God bless you, and public hearing of this ordinance. This ordinance has been posted, published, and made available to the public.
Okay, is there any council comments on this? The second reading, public comment. Anybody from the public wish to comment on this ordinance? Close the public portion. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes.
Resolution number 2016-294. This is the certification of the best practices inventory.
Okay, is there any, well, council's already discussed it. Any further comments?
I'd like to express a very job well done, very good, to the treasurer, her office, and everybody, the clerk's office, everybody that took part of this, because I've seen the workings of the department heads as they're trying to get everything taken care of. They did a wonderful job to help this township, and they should be commended for it.
We've never gotten less than full boat on this, have we? Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. They'd run us out of town if we did. All right, so we'll open up the public comment on 216-294. Close the public comment. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes.
Resolution number 2016-295. This is authorization for the payout of accumulated compensatory time. This is for M. Perry in the amount of $7,416.78.
Any council comments on this? Open it up for public comment. Close the public portion. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Abstain.
Councilmember Simonson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes. Move down to administrative reports. Any council comments? We'll open up for council comments. Tom?
Got a few. Pumpkin Festival was this weekend, and it was another wonderful event where the number of participants in the parade that the rec runs is growing every year. And the costumes and the floats that they make, the families that participate in this, they're wonderful. I somehow got talked into being a judge. It's very hard. These people put a lot of effort into it. The kids are all cute. They do a wonderful job. I would like to thank the rec department for the job they did, the Rotary, who helps host the whole Pumpkin Festival, and the main thing they're doing is giving back to this community, and Cold Spring Village for hosting it. Beautiful site. It's a great venue. People get to wander around and see what it is, and there's a chance to learn the history of this town and the county. I also attended my first meeting of the New Jersey Delaware Bay Shore Council with Norris. He's the chairman. He's put together a group, well, him and others, but the potential is great there. They're just getting organized, getting everything, but they have some wonderful people on that, in that organization, and there are people there that know a lot. Give it a little time, but I'm listening to some of the ideas and some of the thoughts, some various people. We had state representatives, we had elected officials, we had managers, we had representatives from all the assemblymen. One who was absent that day because he had to be up in Trenton. We had FEMA there, DEP, and they're all listening to us. And the FEMA guy even admitted, we brought up the township and the flood maps, and it's all definition. It's a definition issue we have in this township, and he agreed with it. FEMA's actually kind of on our side, but they're hampered because the law's the law. But they also brought up, which the video is also tied in, about linking to the Discover Delaware Bay website, where we could advertise some of the stuff that we're having. We link in, it ties us on this other coast of New Jersey all together. Because the council is not just for economic and try for legislator, but if we start tying our side into tourism, could also start coming our way. We saw the videos of what we're doing. Cumberland has some things going on. Salem County. We're all in this together. And because we're in this together, they are also backing us. We are on our letter to Lobiondo the last time, because what helps us could help them potentially in the future. We all have to work together, and we can't do it alone. We may be the biggest, possibly the biggest of that group, but at the same time, the more we add, the bigger we become. And as I said, the potential for this group is great. And Lars, I have to give that to you. He helped get all these people to the meeting, and they are contributing greatly. Just give them a little time. Also, I was going to bring this up anyway. MUA had a successful meeting the other night concerning the option to pay for the hookups, bringing in the state and some other options to help people pay for their hookups or their plumbing fees. It was a wonderful thing. We hosted it here so that people could attend. From what I understand, it was very well attended. And I want to thank them for that because it's helping the residents. And they also announced their plans for all their upgrades, which I just brought up a few minutes ago, including the sewer lines and expanding possibly into Ward 3, where people are having septic problems and they're looking into vacuum lines and a few other things. But they are fixing the sewer pipes. They are going to look into the sewer pumps. They have a plan in place. They're putting it in place. They're working on it. They're working with the township on Roseanne. They're working with a couple other areas. I have to tell them they're doing a good job. Craig's here. He does a wonderful job. He's been there for all of us whenever we have an issue. And other than that, have a good night.
Just a couple things to follow up on from the last several meetings. It's my understanding that the material for the beach access is now in possession of the township, our possession over Public Works. So I guess it's just a matter of time to fit it into the schedule, Gary Douglas's schedule to start the.
This Wednesday, the first access is going to be started. And actually, I believe Amy Wells this afternoon sent an email stating she was going to be in the area and wanted to check out what we were doing. And we're hoping to have, which we had discussed before, the two that I think will be the most difficult done in the next 2 weeks.
Fantastic.
So we're moving.
Very good. Also, I had constituents inquiring about the flagpole out at Douglas Park, out at the canal there, and a new flagpole has been ordered, a heavier duty one, so hopefully we won't have the same problem that we had in the past with the top of the pole breaking. So that is in the process.
I just want to springboard what Tom said in reference to Mr. Clark. Lobiondo's office was supposed to be here tomorrow. We had a meeting set with Mr. Simonson and myself. They had to move that. We found this out this afternoon, but it looks like they'll be here Wednesday. The team is going to come in and discuss the FEMA issues as well as the, our whole Bayfront initiative. So I think it's great that they're staying involved with us based on, we've gone through the circuit with Stu. We sent the letter, and because, as you have said many times at those council meetings, we need the more people fighting for this, the
Are you
better.
going to be meeting with him tomorrow?
They canceled tomorrow,
It's going to
but
happen?
here's Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Because we did vote, Tom, didn't we?
Yes.
As a council, we're going to be sending a letter to him. So all the 12 municipalities that are part of the Bay Shore Council will be sending a letter to him in support. They voted to support our
Tom told me
resolution.
this afternoon, which I thought would be great, even if we could get an email stating that that's forthcoming.
I'll get it to you tomorrow. I'll get it
Thanks.
to you tomorrow.
Me? Well, since we're on that subject, another area that's overlooked in our township with erosion and such is the canal. And one of the projects there that I'm sure not a lot of people are aware of, but the citizens that live there obviously are, especially Ms. Kathleen Hayes, who's been instrumental in helping me with nudging the state and everything from the Army Corps to the coastal engineering to the DEP, Fish and Wildlife, and that is the area that just under the Parkway Bridge that goes in the Spicer's Creek behind Lucky Bones there. The engineering phase is finished. It is completed. I spoke to Chris Constantino from Coastal Engineering today and had some conversations last week with him as well. And also talked to the Army Corps of Engineers. The next phase, right now it's in the permit phase, which we all know can take a while. And then it will move forward to the Army Corps of Engineers, who will actually be doing the work, putting up a bulkhead along the canal and into Spicer's Creek there, and it will be backfilled with rock. They will also be repairing some of it with marsh grass, and it looks to be a very good project for obviously preventing further erosion in that area. I go down there after every storm, and there's every storm, even if it's not a hurricane, it's 5 to 10 feet of erosion at a time. So that's something Mr. Constantino said that the best scenario would be that the work would actually start in the spring or the summer of 2017, although that's the best case scenario. But the fact that all the other work is finished and that it is a pretty cut and dry project, he felt that it was cut and dried, that it would be, there is a possibility that it would move forward pretty quickly. I'm also looking into the north side of the canal as well, by the Parkway Bridge. There's a lot of erosion on the other side. That section of the canal seems to be forgotten when they did the erosion plan several years ago. They shored up both sides of the canal from the ferry down to the old train bridge, but beyond that, it's still left to with obviously with the boat traffic in and out and the storms, it has eroded over the years. So anyway, that's moving forward. I was at the meeting here in Town Hall, which was it was packed. It was very well attended. I was impressed with the citizens asked many great questions, and the MUA answered. They had people here from the state as well. There were a couple different types of grants that could be that citizens could get. So if you didn't qualify for one, there were other options, which I thought was nice. And like I said, it was very well attended, and some really good information. If someone is out there that missed that meeting, contact the MUA. They can fill you in on grant opportunities to pay for hookups and such. And last but not least, we attended the Lower Township Chamber of Commerce dinner, and just want to congratulate those officers that were installed and thank the Lower Township Chamber of Commerce for all that they do. Thanks.
Cede my time to the mayor.
What, you quit?
I cede my time.
You don't want to talk?
I've said enough.
All right. Okay, here's the announcements. Genesis Health Fair, Thursday, October 20th, 11 to 1 p.m. at the Rec Center. Do we know what they'll be doing there? Maybe we can get something out to the papers on that, I guess. I don't, what's the way? It's a little late now. What's today's date?
This week.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
3 days.
Okay, well, we'll surprise you when you get there.
Well, the papers could possibly get it out on Wednesdays. So.
Yeah, they have the best chicken soup in the world. That's Thursday, October 20th, from 11 to 1 o'clock. All right. The Lower Cape May Regional High School Alumni Tailgate Party. That's kind of a mouthful. Saturday, October 27th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., parking lot of high school, followed by homecoming game at 1 o'clock. All right, that's the Saturday the 22nd, 11 to 1 o'clock. And then there's this thing here, which is the Lower Township Spooktacular, which is Saturday, October 29, at the Lower Township Rec Center at 5 o'clock. How long does it go? This says, that says 5 on here. This says 6 to 8 p.m.
6.
It's, what is
The
it?
haunted house is 6 to 9, yeah.
The haunted house is 6 to 9, okay. Okay, well, it says 5 o'clock on the handout you gave me. Is that our mistake, or is that was given to you? All right. The event will include trunk or treat, indoor inflatables, music, a haunted house, and costume characters, along with an indoor Halloween-themed family movie. Free Halloween bags will be offered to children in attendance. Okay, sounds like a great time for all. And trick or treat will be October 31st from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And with that, we open up to public if anybody wishes to address this gentleman right here.
Hello.
Hello.
hear you.
Come in.
Good evening. I'd like to thank council, first of all, for Resolution 290. This is the seismic air gun testing resolution, which I think is very good. It's good you folks are on top of it, and I, for one, appreciate it.
Would you mind, Fred, giving your name just so we have for the record? Fred Long.
Oh, I'm sorry. Fred Long,
I'll give it for you, Fred Long.
Cold Spring.
Cold Springs.
Forgive me.
That's not a problem.
And this resolution that you passed is very, very timely. because there's two bills that have been presented to Congress, one in the House of Representatives and one in the Senate. They're identical. They address this subject. The House bill, H.R. 5817, which was co-sponsored by Frank Lobiondo and others. It's a bipartisan bill. Both of these are. Senate Bill 2841 was co-sponsored by Senator Booker and Senator Menendez and many others. I made copies of these bills, and I'd like to give them to council because I think it's something that you should have in your file.
Thank you. Just give them to the clerk, and she can get them to us later on. Watch your step.
Do not trip, Fred.
Don't fall. Watch these hazards. We don't want anybody reporting to the code enforcement these. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Fred.
There's a lot of literature on this. I actually was, Fred,
Thank you.
looking at some of the stuff online,
Thank you.
and there's a lot that supports it, but there's so many questions on it that I have no problem. They need to do further research on this to make sure it's not harmful, and it's support.
It looks harmful to sea life, which is important to us.
Well,
And
yeah.
there's no reason to have it because they're not allowed to drill there anyway, so why are they still looking?
Yeah.
Since there's going to need a lot of support to get these bills through Congress, I'd like to ask that a copy of Resolution 290 be sent to Representative Lobiondo's office and Senator Booker's office and Senator Menendez's office to let them know that local folks are on the case too.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Who else wish to address council? Close the public portion.
Resolution number 2016-296, a resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12. This is to discuss collective negotiation of.
All right, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yep.